Om Namo Bhagavate Ramakrishnaya. For seekers of God, spiritual talks of Mahapurush Swami Shivananda. In this episode, Swami Shivanandaji Mahapurush Maharaj discusses about Sri Ramakrishna's Mahasamadhi in the Kashipur garden house and Sri Ramakrishna's relics. Page 22, chapter 8 continued. Devotee: Maharaj, when was it that you went to Kashipur garden? And how did Swami Vivekananda organize the order? We wish very much to hear of those incidents from you. Swami Shivananda was silent for a while, as if he were gradually bringing down his consciousness to the outer world. Then he said softly, when the master's throat trouble took a serious turn, he was moved to the Kashipur garden in order to facilitate his treatment and nursing. We too gathered there in order to serve him. Later, Sri Ramakrishna gave up his body there. Devotee: did you realize that the master had actually breathed his last? Swami Shivananda: no. At first, none of us realized it was actual death. We thought it was samadhi. For sometimes the master used to have such deep samadhi that he would remain in that state for 2 or 3 days at a time. Thinking it was deep samadhi, we started chanting loudly the name of the Lord. The whole night passed in this way without any change in his condition. Next morning, we sent word to Dr. Sarkar. He came and examined the master in detail and said he had given up the body. The doctor found no symptoms of life in it. Dr. Sarkar suggested we have a photograph of the master taken, and this we did. At about 2 or 2:30 in the afternoon, the master's body was cremated at the Kashipur cremation ground. Devotee: most probably those were days of great strain and hardship for all of you? Swami Shivanandaji: no, we never felt any strain and hardship. In those days, we used to spend our time immersed in a certain mood. We were so absorbed in doing personal service to the Master, in practicing meditation and austerity, that most often we had no consciousness of the passing of day and night. We were so absorbed in doing personal service to the Master, in practicing meditation and austerity, that most often we had no consciousness of the passing of day and night. Those were indeed unique days. After the departure of Sri Ramakrishna, most of the boy disciples, except myself and Swami Adbhutananda, went back home. Though Swamiji too returned home, he used to visit the garden at intervals and was in close touch with us all the time. The last remnants of the master's body were preserved there at the Kashipur garden and were daily worshipped by us. We were still at the garden hub because, having paid the rent for the month, we could stay there the remaining days. Mahapurush Maharaj continues, we were still at the garden because, having paid the rent for the month, we could stay there the remaining days. Swamiji and a few of us decided that the relics must be preserved and buried somewhere on the bank of the Ganga, as this had been the master's wish. But we could not find a suitable place. Meanwhile, Ramchandra Datta was arranging to take the relics to his garden house in Kakurgachi. We all felt very bad, especially at the thought that in such an event the master's wish would not be fulfilled. A message was sent to Balaram Babu requesting him to come with an earthen jar. He came at once. That very night we removed all the bones from the ashes, put them in the earthen jar, sealed it with clay, and sent the jar to Balram Babu's house in Calcutta, where the tutelary deity of the family used to be regularly worshipped, and the relics began to be worshipped there daily. Ram Babu took the remaining ashes to Kankurgachi in the meantime. As we did not tell him anything about our removing the bones from the ashes, he was quite in the dark concerning it. The relics we kept then are now worshipped daily at the Belur Mutt here. Swamiji brought the casket containing the relics to the monastery grounds, Belur monastery grounds, carrying it on his head. Swamiji used to call it the casket of Atma Rama. Atma Rama means one rejoicing in himself. We also call it by the same name. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ram Krishnar Paramastu.